and act as representatives in 50-50 gender-balanced bodies. We also have a declaration specific to the United States that, again, was read on July 4th, the holiday of its independence from England, but this applies equally to England and to all of the English-speaking nations, including Canada, and to all the countries of the world. The people's, her and his revolutionary transformation of the U.S. region of Earth government. The local, regional, state, and national governments of the United Nations is a region of a planet requiring both genders, female and male, to sustain itself as a living system. Will establish gender-balanced presence in all decision-making bodies. The executive shall be gender-balanced, comprised of 4 partner co-presidents, 2 female and 2 male. The cabinet shall act as a community responsible to all communities and shall be gender-balanced. The Congress shall be gender-balanced with 1 woman and 1 man from each district, and the district lines shall be reviewed by gender-balanced commissions. The Senate shall be gender-balanced with 1 woman and 1 man from each state, and all parties, towns, cities, counties, villages, and neighborhood governments, and licensed corporate boards and corporations shall be gender-balanced, with 4 co-executives, 2 female and 2 male as co-presiding officers, and gender representative oversight bodies and councils for corporations. There will be local stakeholders and stockholders. There will be local, state, and national referendum allowed, as these are inherently gender-balanced. The election commission shall be gender-balanced, and the decision to use paper or machine ballots will be decided by the entire population, which is gender-balanced. The Supreme Court, if the people shall decide it should be maintained, shall be gender-balanced, and judges shall be elected. A decision of this, and shall be nominated, and the justices of the Supreme Court, if it is maintained, shall be nominated by the gender-balanced co-presidents and confirmed by gender-balanced 2/3 votes of the entire Congress. All judiciary shall be gender-balanced, and judges shall be elected. A decision of the Supreme Court shall be able to be overturned by a 2/3 vote of a national referendum. The freedom, that is if the Supreme Court is maintained. The freedom of the press for both genders shall be guaranteed by assuring that all corporate boards, including and especially media and internet corporations, are gender-balanced and subject to oversight by stock and stakeholder committees, which are gender-balanced, and editorial staffs as well as reporter staffs, which are gender-balanced. And election coverage in the media will be free, and there will be equal access for all candidates. Minorities shall be assured affirmative active outreach to assure their presence in the population is achieved in all representative and decision-making bodies, and this includes indigenous peoples. Any elections held without these re-evolutionary rules will be declared null and void by the American people and the world, and the planetary living ecosystem observing the election. The United States and all of its financial corporations, as those of all national regions, as we have said on our transformation from the UN to the United Peoples and the Interparliamentary Union as well, shall use a currency based on the genuine progress indicator, updated to include the value of unpaid work in the home and community, and to protect the environment and peace, which is disproportionately done by women, and include an indicator of balance of gender in decision-making. The armed forces of the United States, of the people of the United States, will be deployed with the most up-to-date but non-lethal weapons, and may be deployed in conjunctions with those of the gender-balanced People's United, what we have transformed out of the United Nations and Interparliamentary Union, to educate all men to the importance of women's presence in decision-making, to protect the human family and community and the earth, and to protect all the women and the children of the world from domination, domestic abuse, and the prevention of freedom of movement, access to transportation, and direct access to the internet. Note, this shall not be construed to prevent any interim provisional transitional government in which women briefly comprise the great majority, if that is necessary as a preliminary step to call forth both enough men who will publicly endorse and act as representatives of 50-50 gender-balanced bodies. We have an additional declaration drawn up by women that is specific and important for women to make a declaration, and so many declarations have been made by men for thousands of years. This is the Declaration of by and for women. We, the women of the United States of America, in conjunction with and on behalf of all women everywhere, and this is, we will add as a note that the women of the United States are very far behind women in many parts of the literate world. And we are catching up, 50-50 now. We declare that we are inviolable, sovereign entities whose worth is self-evident and whose life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and self-determination are inalienable fundamental human rights. Whereas women have been, are, and will be the basic human template, bearers and sustainers, the gardeners, the herbalists, the healers, the nurturers, the teachers, the homemakers, the breadwinners, the builders of community, family, and national regions, the cornerstone of society and the family. Whereas the rule by patriarchy for thousands of years has resulted in our rights being abridged, our being treated as property, our bodies being assaulted and sold, the earth, our mother, plundered and polluted by profligate greed, our peace destroyed by continual war, our communities and families broken, and our institutions corrupted. Whereas patriarchy has perpetuated male dominance by systematically excluding women from the realms of power, blocking the passage of the Equal Rights Amendment, and we and the ARC editorialize here that we believe the ERA would have to be amended to allow for affirmative action for women, 50-50, and instead we offer CEDAW, the CEDAW, the Comprehensive Elimination Discrimination Against Women, as an improvement on this declaration that was drawn up by many women. Working against equal representation in government despite the fact that we are 51% of the population.